I remember being sat in the office, waiting for these results from the gastrologists. Basically, I just thought, it's nothing serious. They sat me down, started talking to me. Do you know anything about IBD? I'm like, I know about IBS, I know about, obviously, inflammatory bowel syndrome, but IBD I've never heard of. They said, yeah, it's older brother. So basically, IBD is like the worst stages. So it's like, then obviously the syndrome becomes into a disease. So you've obviously got a worse condition. I'm like, oh, okay. So what now? They say, well, there's different medications. We'll start you off on these ones because these are the ones we generally start people on just to see if they work. And then if they don't work, then you can always come back and you can then try a different medication. All right, okay. Well, if that's what I got to do. So what happens from now? Is it curable? Is it not? Doctor? No, we don't know what there is, what's happening inside. We don't know how it happens. Oh, and it's not curable, no. So you have to have this for the rest of your life. Oh, okay. So there's me sat there thinking, I've now got this incurable disease for the rest of my life. So, as you do, you basically roll over, act like a scared little puppy. Oh, well, I'll have to do what the doctor tells me to do. I'll have to just listen to them because they know best. Which then, obviously, you are left powerless. You felt like, well, I'm happy because I've got a diagnosis and I'm getting medication to stop me from going to the toilet 50 times a day. But I've now got this horrible, debilitating disease for the rest of my life, which then kind of puts things into perspective, thinking, if I don't get in remission, then I'm going to be doing this. I'm feeling like crap because I'm constantly tired. I'm not getting any sleep. I'm constantly going to the toilet. My muscles feel weak as fuck. And I've got to do this now for the rest of my life. But the doctors, give you a miracle. Oh yes, well, we'll just give you medication. Don't worry about it. They make it feel so like it's so easy. Like, here you go, don't worry. Well, we've got different medication for you to take. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. But in actual fact, no. Everything is not fine. What you're doing is you're masking the root cause to why you're actually having a flare in the first place. What you're doing is you are basically rubbing salt in an open wound because you don't care. You don't care the fact that I've now got this disease. All you care about is prescribing medication. You don't care that there is a solution out there. You don't care that there is ways to get in remission without the medication because you only care about the medication. So I was sat there thinking, right, what do I do from here? I'll take your medication. So I ended up going on like Pentasa first, did fuck all. Then I went on Mesavant, didn't do fuck all. Then I went on Octasa, didn't do fuck all. I'm thinking, okay, so when are we going to get to the medication that actually works? Because I was taking loads of steroids. So you start off on like 40 milligram, which is like 8 tablets. When I first started, they used to give me that for 2 weeks. So I'd have that for 2 weeks. And then each week, you kind of reduce them down by 1 each week. Now, after the first 2 weeks, you start to feel all the joint pain. You start to feel a bit like a dark cloud starting to come over your head, and you start feeling a bit like depressed and a bit moody and a bit, like doomsday. Then each week after that, that's when other things start to creep in, like the moon face. So then you end up feeling like depressed and miserable because your face is getting so fat, and then you get all spots all over it, which are like massive spots, and not even tiny ones, they're like massive spots. So you pop them, which is probably one of the worst mistakes you can make. You pop them, a day later, they come back, and you have to pop them again. I had spots that big that they had like 2 or 3 heads on them. They were like huge. It was horrible. So not only did I feel like shit because I had this debilitating disease for the rest of my life, and now had all these horrible side effects from the medication. So I was not confident. I didn't want to go out. But as you do, I carried on taking the steroids. I'd get to taking 2 steroids a day, every day. And then the symptoms started coming back. I started getting urgency. I started getting blood. I started feeling like crap again. So then I'd go back to the doctor and say, Doctor, I've, started to have a flare again. What shall I do? Oh, we'll have to increase your steroids again. I'm thinking, fucking hell, I'm finally starting to feel a bit human again. Because when you get down to about 4 a day, you start to, the clouds seem to open up, and then the sunshine starts coming through, and you feel, start feeling a bit normal again now. So there's you thinking, yes, I'm starting to feel a bit better. Then boom, there you go, take another course of steroids, back all the way up to 8 for another 2 weeks. And then it would get down to then, so then by the time it comes to like the 3rd course, they're thinking, this isn't working. So that's when they started trying me on some different things like mircaptopurine. So this is like the next level up of the medication. And I'm sat there thinking, okay, I'll try this. Read all the side effects. They're literally like an A4 size side effects: headaches, nausea, dizziness, brain fog, all these other sort of things that you can get on this fucking thing. So I thought, okay. I probably shouldn't have read the side effect list because it's making me not want to take it. But if you say this is the solution, I'll take your shitty medication. I tried that for a few months, all while then onto the last course of steroids that I took in that year. And I was on that last course for absolutely ages because I'd get down to 2 again and it was happening again. So they said, up it. And then what we'll do is we'll keep you at like 4 for a few weeks. So that's what they did. Kept me at 4 for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And then they reduced down to 3, then kept it for another like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So I kept doing that. And then finally, after a year of taking steroids, I pretty much managed to get in remission. Now, was it because of the mircaptopurine I was going in there as well? I'm not so sure. Because then it wasn't much long after, maybe about 6 months, I ended up with another flare-up. We changed the mircaptopurine to azathioprine. I was on that for a little bit, and then we ended up having another flare-up. Ended up on the biologicals, which just ended up feeling like this has got to be the solution. They're saying to me that this medication is the strongest medication. Now, they said there's a few different biologicals, so we'd have to try and find which one was the one that actually worked. So I tried this Humira one first. So obviously you have to inject yourself in your stomach every couple of weeks, and this stuff could attack your immune system. Like, I couldn't go outside. Like, if I went outside in the sun, you could feel it literally burning your skin. I couldn't go around anyone who had like colds, or I couldn't really go out with my friends or anything like that because if they had colds or anything. So I was pretty much stuck inside. So I felt like shit. I felt like, well, I'm supposed to be getting better and I'm supposed to be on this medication that's supposed to give me my life back. But yet, it wasn't. It was taking away my life. Because, yes, I might have not been going to the toilet 15, 25 times a day. And I might not have, been bleeding out my ass. But at least with that, I could kind of go out, but then just make sure I knew where all the toilets were. So then if I needed to go, I could just run to it. Now, I can't even go out. I can't socialise. I can't see people because if they've got illnesses, then I'll get it and I'll feel like fucking shit. This then also affected my workplaces. So I was going to work, but I'd have to be extra cautious because, it's like when you go to work, people are coughing and sneezing and fucking splurting everywhere. So it made me always on edge, thinking, am I going to get ill? Am I going to, get this illness? Or am I going to make, this going to end up making me more ill than what I were before? Is that any way to live? Is there any way to live to be scared every single day to go out just in case you're going to get ill? But this, by all accounts, is the doctor's miracle cure. This is the thing that's going to get you into remission. And if you take this for 5 to 10 years, you may be in remission for the rest of your life. That is the bullshit that I got told. You take this medication for about 5 to 10 years, and then hopefully you'll be in remission. So when you can come off it, you can then be in remission for the rest of your life. But if you wanted to, you can stay on it for the rest of your life. And I thought, what the fuck? Why would anyone want to stay on this medication long term? So anyway, that medication failed. Like all of the other medications I've had, it failed. So I was on it for about 18 months. Then I decided to think, you know what? I've been on this medication now for a while. I'm not really getting loads of the side effects. So I thought, okay, it's time to come off it. I want to live a normal life again. I've not had any flare-ups. I've been feeling okay. So why not come off it? Told the doctor, said, no. You've not been on it long enough. You need to stay on it longer. I'm just like, why? I'm not getting any side effects. I've not been having any flare-ups for the last 2 years. Why don't I just, come off it? No. I'm like, you know what? No, I'm coming off it. I don't want any more risks. I don't want to have these incurable skin cancers that they can cause and everything else. So obviously the doctor wasn't very happy that I'm like coming off it. He was basically pleading me, saying, no, you need to stay on it. I thought, no fucking chance, mate. No fucking chance. Come off it. I thought everything was great. I thought, yes, I've come off this medication. I'm starting to feel, like I've got this in the bag. like I'm finally in remission. Yes. 6 months later, I remember the day. I was like getting a bit of stomach cramps. I thought, okay, maybe I've eaten something yesterday that's irritated. I wonder if it's a bit of, I don't know, something that I had that was not agreeing with me. Went up to the toilet. Then wiped my butt. Blood. I thought, fuck. Again. I could have literally cried on the toilet there and then. I was just like, no. Literally just staring at it like, fuck. Why is this fucking happening? I've been so good. Why is this happening? And then as you do, when you first start getting a flare, you proper go fucking mad. You start stressing out. You start going, oh, what is going on? Please. Why is this happening to me? What did I eat yesterday? What is it? Even though the food that you've eaten is pretty much the same foods as you've eaten every day for fucking years. But no, you start blaming the food and you start thinking, okay, well, why is this happening? Did I not chew my food properly? Did it just seem to irritate? What's going on? Oh, great. Now it's getting worse because I'm stressing out. And the stress itself, because at the time, I didn't really know that stress was a massive contributing factor to why the flares either come or they get worse. So there's me stressing out for the next 24 hours, really contemplating what's going on, what did I do wrong? How can I be having a flare-up already? This doesn't make fucking sense. I was on this medication for so long, but yet I'm now flaring. Which then was making my symptoms worse and worse and worse. And every time I was getting more stressed, I was getting to the toilet more. So I must have that first day, must have been about 12, 15 times I went to the toilet because I kept stressing myself out, kept getting the urgency, kept going and getting more and more blood every single time. So then what did I have to do? I had to ring the doctors and be like, I'm having a flare-up. What shall I do? The doctor seemed pretty smug on the phone, to be fair. It was my IBD specialist. He was like, well, you came off your medication too early. You shouldn't have come off it. I told you that, you'd come off it too early. So there was me, fucking tail between my legs. I know, I'm sorry. I didn't realise that I was going to have a flare-up so soon. And I kind of thought I was healed and everything else. And he was like, well, at least, it's within 6 months, so you don't need to do the starting course again. You can just go straight back on it. So this was supposed to be the silver lining, as it were. Oh, look, it's not been too long, so you don't have to do the start. You can just go straight back on it, don't worry. So then, within a space of a couple of weeks, I got my first delivery of this medication again, and I started taking it, injecting myself every 2 weeks. Thought, right, okay. Well, and I also had to go back on steroids, obviously, because we had to reduce the inflammation. The only thing that the doctors say that can reduce inflammation is steroids. So I started taking a course of steroids, and then obviously within a couple of weeks, the other medication comes, started taking that. Thought, right, I'll take this medication longer now. I'll take it for as long as the doctor wants me to. That's the mind shift that I had. Okay, I'll trust the doctor even more, and I'll listen to him, and I'll fucking take this medication for however long he wants me to take it. And guess what happened? 6 months later, I had another flare-up. Even while on this fucking biological shit, I had a flare-up. And this time I was fuming. I was fucking pissed off. I was like, you what? I can kind of see, the last one because I wasn't on it and maybe I didn't, get into remission as much as I thought I did. This time I'm actually on the medication and I had a flare-up. I was livid. I thought, no. I frigging got straight on the phone to the doctor. I was just like, I'm having another flare-up. And I'm on this medication. How does that make sense? He tried telling me, obviously, well, it could be just the fact that the medication before to now, you may have got a bit of immunity to it. So it meaning it doesn't work as effective as it would have if you didn't come off it. And I thought, are you fucking kidding me? Are you honestly kidding me? So I thought, no, that's it now. So because I come off it and then went back on it, now I'm suffering because I built up a bit of a immunity to it. So now what do you want me to do? So I spoke to him and he's like, well, there is other biologicals you can take. There's a few out there now that you can take, that you can try. The first thing I said to him, I don't think I was very mean. I just said, no, I'm not taking that. You can just, no, I'm going to try and do it myself. I'm going to try and heal myself. So I went back on a course of steroids and thought, right, I'm going to heal this inflammation and I'm going to try and do it my way. So the flip of the switch before was me saying, right, I'll stay on this medication for now. I was like, fuck that shit. I am not following your advice. I've tried and tried again, but yet I'm still nowhere near close to being in remission. Now, fast forward to today. It's been a fair few years since then. It's been probably about 6 years. And I finally got there. I've worked through it. I've done different diets, different things I've worked out, and just basically getting to the root cause of why I'm actually flaring instead of just masking it with these medications. I've been every single flare I've had over the last 6 years. I've taken it as a learning opportunity to see what it was around that area that it could have been to why I had flares. And I've now been in clinical remission for 23 months using the protocol that I'll put in the top link in the description. It's my 90-day protocol. But the formula is, I've removed everything that could irritate. So when I'm eating, I literally eat only animal products because they are the best things, because they don't have all the irritants in them. The next is basically finding out the mind-body connection. Most people don't realize when they have UC or Crohn's or anything that comes down to like an emotional trigger, that is what can end up causing a flare. So if you're having a stressful time at work, that could cause a flare. If you've broken up from someone, that could cause a flare. It's about getting over these traumatic events, which could be triggering. So then every time you have a thought about them, it gives you that urgency. So it's getting over the food triggers as well. Because obviously, as I said previously, I was sat there thinking, what food is it? What is this? Oh, undefeating this. That's the thing. So then you cause a food trigger, which basically means that every time you think about eating that food or eat that food, your brain automatically thinks, no, you flared last time. This is going to cause symptoms. And the last thing is exercise. Exercise itself can actually reduce inflammation, can make you feel stronger, more alert, more energy. But because you feel generally so shit normally, you kind of put your health, like your exercise and keeping fit and healthy, to one side. So this 3-step formula, and I'll link a video to what my 3-step formula is in the video, description below. So once I figured out how to use these 3 together, I've been, as I said, in clinical remission now for 23 months. And I can live a normal life. I can go out. I don't need to worry about going into the sunshine. I can see people. I can go out. I can do anything I want because I'm not limited to just what the medication is telling me. I can eat whatever I want if I wanted to. Living a normal life has never felt so good. Right, that's it for today, guys. Let me know in the comments below if this is sort of content you like. Let me know if there's anything that you want me to record, if there's anything that's you've been stuck on, anything that's the doctor said to you that you think, oh, well, is this true? And that's it for today. I'll see you again soon.